Okay, here's all our rocker arms here. These all look like they're aftermarket arms themselves. The blocks, these are stock blocks, these are aftermarket blocks. You can tell because there's no number castings in here, but you can also just look at them and tell by the way they look on the outside also. These ones here are a lot more shiny, a lot newer using. The earlier ones are just dark bronze material. These ones here are a lot more shiny, like brass material. So these are your 40s style. This is more like your 50s, later 50s and 60s style. They look like this. This is definitely 40s and early 50s. They look like this. Aftermarket has even more brass in their material, less bronze. So there you go. Now the biggest thing on these is the rocker tips. They vary a lot on the shape up here, what angles they're cut at. This set here all pretty even on the radius. If you look at the radius right there, it's relatively flat, but it's pretty even. You know, they vary a little bit, but see if the light helps a little bit on this. So this one here has a little bit more radius to it than this one. But they have a decent amount of curve to them going on. This set over here, which is an older set. You see how this tip has a lot more rounded radius. This one here, don't know what the hell this is supposed to be. It's about the radius of a damn ballpoint pen. So you got basically a 90-degree angle with a radius corner is what it looks like. It's the way they made it. So that's really weird looking. And it's not very flat or even either. If you look at it, it's more radius here than on this side. So it's not very even at all. Really a crappier tip. There's another tip over here. This one here is a little bit more even on the radius. But once again, you can see the unevenness in it. Now this one here, you can see a wear mark from where it was on there. Here's another one that's all screwed up again. And so we have two of them here. They're really crappy looking. You know, let's say we got two that have a radius that's more even. So these here are definitely junk. These two here, who knows, they might hit. We don't know. These ones here, all four of these are about the same. So whatever it is, they're going to be equal. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and grab a pair of these here. I'm going to grab this pair right here because we got four of them are close. This is the aftermarket set. Now the aftermarket ones usually have a couple thou clearance in these bodies, so you can go ahead and tighten them up a little bit if you want, or you can leave them. Okay, they go right down, and these are not doweled in there. Yep, we're missing a couple dowel pins. We're missing one dowel right there. And this one here's got both, so I gotta get me another dowel for this head to check it correctly. They're not supposed to wobble too bad. You see aftermarket blocks tend to wobble a little bit. I'll grab a genuine Harley block. Fit in there. Put together wrong? Nope. Yeah, this one doesn't want to fit on the motor. Yeah, more headaches. Try a different one. There. Got one on there nice and tight. See, it doesn't wobble like the aftermarket one does. See, it doesn't move at all. So these dowel pin holes are tighter than these aftermarket holes. These are bigger holes. If you measure them, they're going to be a little bit different in size. You can just look at them right in there and kind of see the differences in the sides of them. See how much bigger these holes are than these ones down there? So that's one more reason why aftermarket stuff isn't as good. So there you go. Alright, so those ones are in there. That was on the wrong side. This one's over here. There we go. So there's your clearances in there again. So everything just kind of rocks and rolls all over the place. Alright, so you stick those on there. Let's go ahead and throw a nut on here. I'm going to take a quick sweep here to see what they look like. See if we're anywhere in the ballpark. All right. Stand these things up on end. And we're going to go ahead and look at the sweep of the rocker arm here across our valve tip. This spring's pretty heavy, so it's hard to do here. You basically just look at how it goes across the face of the tip right there. So you look at how it rolls across. You see how there's a lot of scrubbing action going on, but at least it's hitting on the whole face of the valve tip, which means it's not too awful bad. Now this one over here, we're way off the end of the damn valve. Look how bad that one is. See, it's hitting on the side of the valve right there. And you see how it just slides across the tip. It doesn't work very evenly. That's when the roller tip comes in nice, because it rolls across the valve instead of having to slide it across like this one's doing. But the big problem is that it hits right here in the very corner right here, which is not good. So it needs to be ground a little differently. Now a lot of that is because the valve is sunk the extra amount. So if you bring it down, it's not quite as so bad. It gets worse when you come up. So this one here, you have to grind. You have to make the radius, instead of being here, you need to radius it more like this here. So you have to recut it a little bit to make it work. But at least these are halfway decent. It really isn't that bad. When you put ones like these in there, these things here are way the hell out of whack, usually. So, anyway, on these aftermarket rocker arms, all this has to be checked because they're so bad and they vary so much. You know, obviously this one here is not going to work very well. If you ran this out of the box like this here, it's going to cause a lot of wear in your valve guide because it's pushing the valve this direction before it opens. So, it's going to have some issues. This one over here, it's not too bad. It's on the valve right now and it rolls, you know, kind of slides across, but it's on the valve head at least. So this one here is actually not too bad. This one over here sucks a little bit, but at least it's close. So these other ones that look like this, pure crap. So anyway, that's your differences. So we need to look, we need to make up forearms are going to be accurate. So I'll have to check all this out, clean all this up, and then work on these blocks. And I'll probably wind up using the stock blocks because they're going to fit the valves tighter. And then we'll go ahead and probably use these arms here, so I'll mix and match some parts to do what I want to do. So, right now I want to measure the hole difference and see if we get an idea of the differences in our sizes here. So right now we're about 199 200 thousandths on that one. And this one here about 193, see. And the dowel pin should be 3/16, which is 188. So there's your 187, 188. So the stock rocker, and we have 5,000 clearance for the dowel pin here to our block. These are another 5 thousandths bigger, so we have 10 thousandths clearance between here and the dowel pin over here. So these have 10 thousandths worth of float in here, which is why when we're head up on the block, we can move it around quite a bit. So I'm going to check out his original blocks and see if they're good on the inside. And if they look nice, I'm going to do the rocker arm swap. And I'll have to regrind the tips on this here just lightly to make it work. So we'll see how that all flies. But at least now I get an idea where we're at. So we're going to call it quits here for tonight for now, but tomorrow we'll go work on all these arms and get this stuff all buttoned up. So anyway, those are the checks you got to do, so at least you got a better idea of what we're doing now.